Welcome to Extra Butter! Starting off with the sequel no one was asking for, Men in Black International. We'll let you know whether or not you should have your memory purged after. Also, it's our Samuel L. Jackson double feature, starting with Shaft. He's one bad shut your mouth, but I'm just talking about Shaft. And then Sam Jackson, of course, shows up in Captain Marvel, as he should. Why you should see the extended features. It's now on Blu-ray, home video, DVD, etc. We'll talk about that and more on this edition of Extra Butter. Hey, it's John. What's up, John? It's the world-famous comedian Steph Sanders. I'm Marcus Allen. Thanks for hanging out with us. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Was the open announcer a little too rough on Men in Black International?
We can talk about that later.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, oh no! We can't start the show like this. I'm so sorry. Oh no. All right. So anyway, this is Extra Butter.
Right.
We're gonna have that dry cleaned, I promise.
Right.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
What a horrible way to start
And
the
I
show.
dressed up for you today too.
There. Now it's fair.
Yeah, right.
All right.
This is how men eat anyway, so.
Speaking of disasters, let's talk about Secret Life of Pets 2. Did you know it did half of what it was supposed to do at the box office?
No, that surprised me. It very much surprised me because I think the movie was awesome, but I really thought the anticipation was going to get way more than this. What happened?
I don't know. Well, we clean all this up. Take a look at the movie. It was supposed to do over $100 million, ended up doing about $47 million. Despite that, I sat down with Kevin Hart, who plays also a superhero bunny in parts of this movie, to ask him, what makes you feel like you have superpowers? What are your superpowers?
Your character has an alter ego that's a superhero.
Yes.
And so I hate to spin into your real life, but what's the last thing you did that made you feel like a superhero?
That made me feel like a superhero?
Yeah, and you probably can't see the forest for the trees because you do so many things that change lives. You're a superhero in a multitude of ways.
Well, you know what I'll say? The ability to have a high level of mental toughness can make you feel like a superhero at times. When you're just not bothered, I think in today's time it's very easy to get bothered. It's very easy to get upset and to allow all this negative to penetrate your positive.
Right.
For me, I don't. That's probably the phone. No! Tell them no, I'm doing an interview for Pets. Pets 2. Yeah.
We're trying to do a show.
Yeah, there you go.
I love that we're getting bothered right after
Yeah.
we talk about not getting bothered.
After we just said not to let something affect your mental when we do it.
Right. Good to see you, man.
Always, man.
Thank
Always
you
good
for
to see
your
you.
time. God
I'm
bless
serious
you.
about the suit.
I love that. On the heels of telling me how zen-like he is, that's his superpower. He's yelling at the person
So
for
much for
interrupting.
his chi, right? So much for his chi. That didn't work out.
So have you done stand-up with him?
I have.
Oh, by the way, big props to you.
Thank you, thank
Improv, you crushed it
Thank
at
you.
Hollywood Improv Monday night. This guy was amazing.
Thank
Give
you.
him a sample of what you talk about in your act.
I can absolutely talk about nothing here. However, I can talk about being adopted and how people in foster homes, group homes, want to compare it. They can't. Actually, they get a check for them. They paid for me.
All right,
I'm big difference.
From foster mom to stepmom. Hey, it's our friend, everybody. It's Tara Hitchcock.
Hey!
Hey guys!
I'm bringing you in for backup to talk about Secret Life of Pets because all the kids are inside watching it right now.
Well, it's hard to top the original, to be honest, but I love the fact that for the first time in his career, mid-70s-year-old Harrison Ford is voicing an animated character.
Yeah, how did that happen?
I have no idea. I think he actually pursued them. He's been a dog lover all of his life. He's not a huge fan of cats, wanted to voice a dog, and go figure. Now he's a gruff farm dog, basically.
How would you sum up this movie to people who were on the fence, and evidently a lot of people were on the fence about going to see it or not?
Can I just say one thing? When it gets hot in the summer, you go hit the theater, it's air conditioned, it doesn't really matter. They're not trying to make an Oscar-nominated film. It's kids' entertainment, and they'll like it. That's the end. Sometimes we overthink these things. Just take the kids. If you have a pet or if you love animals, go.
Exactly. You pretty much, that's most of the free world you just mentioned there. So thank you, Tara.
Wait, whoa. We are burying the lead, my friend, because the story isn't so much the semi-dismal performance of sequels at the box office this weekend. It's your Emmy. You have an Emmy.
Tara, we talk about movies here. We're not talking about awards. We're not about Emmy Awards. We're more about Oscars. That's not important, but...
Listen, I've known you for decades. I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't have that thing right next to you. You're holding it in your hand. Where is it? Where is it?
I was actually sitting on it, which might explain the tear in my pants, Tara. This whole thing...
This is actually one of several Emmys, but this is for the show and your role in it, and I'm just so excited for you my friend. Congratulations.
The fact that I'm getting an Emmy Award means that they don't mean anything anymore, but thank you very much. I rely on amazing people who help clean up my mess each and every week, Tara Hitchcock.
Well, I love it, and I love this show, so thanks for just including me. Hey, did you enter? Was the entry one that involved me at all?
I don't know how this works, but I feel certain it did. They said, oh, if he got her on the show, it might as well win an Emmy.
Ipso facto, basically, I also too have an Emmy.
Terry, congratulations on your Emmys.
Oh, thank you, guys.
If I seem distracted for a moment, Terry, I got to show you a safe place. Stop cleaning up, Julian. As if on cue, when I said cleaning up my mess, Julian starts sweeping up popcorn. Hey, Tara, where can we find you?
Instagram at Tara on TV and Facebook Tara on TV, T-A-R-A, and then Twitter Tara TV1. Don't ask.
You are awesome. Thanks for being a good friend. Thanks for hanging out. The also Emmy Award-winning Tara Hitchcock, ladies and gentlemen.
Everybody's Emmy Award winning. So do we get a toy one?
This is a toy one. You kidding me? Of course, take that and do what you will.
I'd like to thank the Academy.
I will tell you this, it's perfect. You could put a roll of toilet paper right there and it works out just perfectly every time.
That's exactly what I want to do.
All right, what comes to mind when I say Shaft?
Shut your mouth.
I'm just talking about Shaft.
Hey, he's a bad mother.
Specifically, we're both going to be talking about Shaft. That and more. Richard Roundtree himself,
Yes.
Samuel
Yes.
L. Jackson, and the rest next. Hey, welcome back. It is Extra Bonner hanging out talking about the movies that are getting big for the summer. You need a bucket of Emmy Awards and all kinds of Emmy Awards.
Thank you
Award-winning
so much.
Steph Sanders, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for hanging out.
I'm glad. I'm glad to hang out. Man, I even dressed up for you today. I look, trying to look. I can't look as
I like what you do.
dapper as you, but
In a little bit, we'll have to go into our Men in Black mode,
Yeah,
but for now, I got to talk to you. What does Shaft mean to you?
man, Shaft, Tim's story, man. This the director did Ride Along, did Barbershop, and he always has an entertaining movie. But he also points out some things in the community which are great. So this is incredibly entertaining. And incredibly just the cast.
If you think about it, no kidding. Regina Hall, who is like Tim Story's secret weapon. In fact, we talked about that a little bit. I caught up with them where they shot the movie, where they should have shot the movie, in Harlem. Take a look. So I can't believe I'm hanging out with Harlem with the legendary Tim Story. Good to see you.
Thank you, man. Thank you. This is the home of Shaft.
I got to ask you a question, though. You know, it was 14 years ago that you put me in your movie Fantastic Four. That was the last time that you and I worked in a film together. And I think that speaks to my acting. And it's been 14 years.
No, well, we couldn't find you.
Oh, is that it?
We've been looking. We finally found you, so now I can put you in other stuff.
I was laying too low.
Yeah, exactly,
All
man.
right. Well, I
Can't
didn't
do
want to
that.
bother you. You had other stuff going on.
Exactly.
Congratulations on everything.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, man.
Including this. You shot an amazing movie. A lot of Harlem is the backdrop of it.
Yeah.
In fact, I hate to be cliche, but we got a brownstone. Can we sit? Can I actually
Let's
do
please.
the
Let's
stoop?
do it.
Let's do it. All right. So when the original Shaft was made, they kind of run and gun. It was down and dirty.
Yeah.
They didn't have permits. They went on the streets.
They did not.
What would happen if you tried that with Sam Jackson today?
You know, you might actually get away with it with Sam. You just
Because
might.
people are scared of him?
Oh, of course. Well, not scared, but it's just Sam is like he's royalty. You kind of like he walks there, you let him walk. So
Right.
We might be able to get away with it with Sam today.
You know, you do have a point, because if it were Kevin Hart, like the average public would run, Kevin Hart, I love you. There'd be hugs.
Sam to kind of divide. Yeah.
Exactly. I want to talk about your secret weapon. There's not a moment Regina Hall's on screen that she doesn't
That's my
jump out.
girl. That's my sis. That's we've done a few projects together, and I knew if you brought her into this world that she would fit right in. She can curse with anybody.
Yep.
She can. She still gives you heart, but she can be strong, soft. Whatever you need from Regina, you get. And I knew she'd be a great addition to the Shaft franchise.
And you know how I opened that up? That is a true story. You go back and watch Fantastic Four, and you will see my award-worthy 5 frames.
Award-worthy. 5 frames.
Maybe 6 frames.
All right, I love it. Fantastic Four. I love that. Man, you in so much stuff. What is it, Jeffersons? Fantastic Four.
I was in Jefferson. I was in Martin. Close enough. I was Wheezy. Not many people know. I was a lighting double anyway. So he talked about his secret weapon, Regina Hall. She is crushing it.
Awesome, man. She is so underrated, and in everything she is, in everything movie she does, she crushes it every time. So understated. And she's a host in BET this year.
That's gonna be
Hosting the
great.
BET Awards. That's gonna be fantastic. I'm so happy for Regina Hall. She's finally getting her due.
I sat down with her and then her co-star in this movie, Alexandra Shipp. And if that name doesn't sound familiar immediately, when you see her, you're going to go, oh, the girl that played Aaliyah. She did a fantastic job in that.
Fantastic.
And this. We talked about Shaft-isms.
What I love about this movie is that it addresses the fact that there are certain things that Shaft does that might not fit in today's society.
No.
If Shaft were like packaged like Austin Powers and thawed out and just woke up in today's society, what would be one of the first things you would tell him? The do's and don'ts of Shaft-isms.
Twitter and Facebook is not a journal. Other people can see it.
Got it?
I think that that's something that a lot of the older generations who aren't used to social media like that forget.
Right.
It's not your journal. Do not say whatever you want on social media.
If we can get Shaft to even get on social media.
Right. That's
I think Shaft's got a flip phone.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, he wouldn't even get a computer. Like the way he stores his records.
Yeah.
Like, oh wow, yeah. I think I would teach Shaft things that are no longer politically correct to say.
Right.
I think he would need a new dictionary and vocabulary of terms.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I think that he's gonna offend a lot of people.
Regina Hall, amazing there. Like you said, she's coming to BET. And Alexandra, by the way, you might know as Storm from the reboot of X-Men.
Now, you might know her, and 49 other people might know her that saw that movie. But
Because nobody else went to go see that movie. Good
But she's
point.
beautiful. I love Alexandra.
Yeah, she is amazing in this movie. You know who else is amazing in this movie? You couldn't have it without the 3 generations of Shaft. So Richard Roundtree, like this launched it all back in the 70s.
Blaxploitation film would not be Blaxploitation films without Richard Roundtree.
No kidding. And he kind of jumped in whenever I said, you know, in the original Shaft, and I forgot for a moment what I was saying, but I was talking about Sam Jackson version from like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I quickly got shut down. Take a look.
I've interviewed you before. You always dress up. My first time interviewing you, so I didn't know how to come. But with you, it's always hard to keep up fashion.
Well, today I'm easy.
No, it's working. Yeah. I told you in the first Shaft, I said, did you take this role strictly to keep wardrobe? Because everything you wore in that movie looked amazing.
Well, it was Armani, yeah, so it was good.
Back up a second. You said in the first Shaft?
Oh, no!
The first in his generation.
My
The first of his generation.
What I meant.
I'm just going to call you on this.
You weren't born when you made it.
What I meant.
Shots fired all around.
I was his age when I saw you. So you know what that means.
Okay.
What I meant to say was his first Shaft.
All right.
There we go.
Too late.
How is, oh man, I might as well leave. Check.
Almost.
All right. How was your first Shaft?
Incredible. I got a chance to work beside these 2 legends right here. Couldn't have asked for a better experience.
What could your generation learn and take that would make them better from Shaft?
Oh my gosh.
Either.
From either Shaft? I mean, these gentlemen are some of the boldest, bravest, most self-confident people that I've ever met in my life. If my generation could just feed off of that a little bit more, I think we'll all be better off.
Got it. And what do you think?
Got deep there, brother.
I'm just saying, you know, I spent a lot of time around you guys and I picked up on it.
Let me draw from the film specifically some quotes from Shaft. If you would, all 3 of you just jump in and fill in these Shaftisms. It's your duty.
Please that booty.
All right. If we take nothing else from the movie, that's a good thing,
I was
right?
championing for that line.
Always, and yeah.
I remember the scene, and you didn't want to do that line. You was like, nah, that's from the other movie. I was like, we have to do that line.
I just had to find the right place for it.
That's true. That's true.
You know, because I remember, well, the only reason, you know, it works so well and it's so funny is because in the first one I did, I kept saying, where's my opportunity to be a sex machine for all the chicks?
Hello.
You know, where's my girl scene? Where's my, and John kept saying, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. And one day he came to me and said, today is it, and this is it. And so he gives me this line, and I look at it and I go, you want me to say this? This is corny as hell. And he's like, no, it's gonna be great, it's gonna be great. And sure enough, I said it, and that's like the t-shirt line from, you know, that movie. So, and that's when people yell that as much as they go, you know what they call a quarter pound of cheese in France. They go, it's my duty, please that booty. And women say that to me all the time.
3 generations of Shaft going on right there. Here's why I recommend that movie, because when I say Shaft, like half the people in here weren't born in the 70s, don't know of the Shaft. This movie does a really nice job, not only connecting the dots, but you know, helping kind of open that discussion about what's politically correct and not politically correct anymore. Shaft can't say half the stuff Shaft used to say.
And made it incredibly entertaining for anybody who watches it now. Like, incredibly entertaining, incredibly poignant. It's amazing. I loved it.
Coming up next, I'll be the Tommy Lee Jones to your Will Smith.
I'll be the Will Smith, that's right.
All right, coming up in a moment, we're going to be talking about Men in Black International. Should you see it? Should you have your memory scrubbed after? That and more next. Hey, welcome back. Hope you're enjoying your summer. Oh, thank you, Steph Sanders. Hey, do you guys have a new nifty popcorn dispenser? Do you want some popcorn?
Yeah, sure.
There you go. That's good popcorn. Get it if you can.
It's great.
All right, so what are we thinking about Men in Black International?
Well, it was okay. I really thought that my man should have played the fat version of Thor. Been funnier to me. I thought it'd been funnier, you know.
So, if Chris Hemsworth would have played his character in Men in Black with the big Thor fat suit,
it'd been funnier to me. Yes.
I think you might be onto something. That may have been what was missing. If the movie's salvaged at all, I think it's because Chris and Tessa have relatively good chemistry together.
Yeah, they do have relatively good chemistry. She did a great job, I think, in a new role.
Yeah.
Kind of coming into this. So, yeah, it made it believable.
I liked them together, if not in this movie, at least in this chat. Take a look.
Yeah.
My favorite thing, one of my favorite things about Chris, is you'll get into an improvisation and he likes to push it to the point where we then worry we'll never be hired again.
Yeah. He often kind of reins me in, you know. And I would think part of creation is destruction at times. So
yeah, that's true, actually.
You need to wreck some stuff. And, no, that is kind of, he did sort of my process, I think. I do want to kind of really just go all over and then kind of feel, okay, that's probably the boundaries and so on. Pretty unfair sometimes for Tessa if she's like, what the hell are you doing, Chris?
It was only unfair the very first day that I worked on Thor. I was like, this is confusing. Can I talk now? Or you're just going to keep talking, should I?
Is it my turn?
I had a line.
That was great though because we had that, because we'd done it so many times before, we were able to just kind of pick up on that same energy and you know, there's a sort of mad chaos to it, which was a lot of fun.
So I liked them, but you got to ask yourself, did we need a new Men in Black? Were we ready to reboot Men in Black?
I think the box office will speak for itself.
We weren't ready to
boot a new Men in Black.
It wasn't time to make it happen.
No.
I don't even like Tommy Lee Jones, mostly because I don't think he likes me. He doesn't suffer fools well, right?
Yeah.
And even still, I want to see Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones if I want to see Men in Black.
You're right. It just didn't do what it should have done for the next generation. But hey, you know.
Have you ever thought our chats were awkward? Ever?
A little bit. You can be a little awkward.
Not as awkward as this. Nice work in this.
Oh, no, thank you.
Congratulations on this.
So, yeah, I know that was kind of awkward, but was it really that bad?
Oh, so obviously I edited that to make it really awkward.
Okay.
If I hadn't edited it, it's even more awkward. It's just awkward sad if you see the raw tape.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's okay, man.
All right, so anyway, we're talking about Men in Black. In general, Men in Black for me is always going to be Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones.
Always.
All right, so says Steph Sanders. Coming up in a moment, should you rent or should you buy Captain Marvel? Yeah, you're going to buy it, but what you get with it coming up next. Hey, welcome to News Extra Butter. Hope you're enjoying the summertime, escaping all of that heat. If you want to find us online, if you missed anything like the moment we started the show where popcorn got dumped everywhere, it was a popcorn massacre. A popcorn travesty.
The lady said we couldn't do it without them, but we did it, and we made a mess just like a bachelor pad. It's our bachelor pad.
We made it through nonetheless. If you want to see what went down, follow us on Facebook. Also, you can join our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and like. And to find you online, where do we go?
I am Steph Sanders everywhere. I am Steph Sanders, grown man, head, 12-year-old body. I am Steph Sanders everywhere.
That's right. Normally, Kelly Savannah Deaton would be here talking about stuff. However, she has to be on the road to gather other interviews, like the interviews she got with the cast of Captain Marvel.
Love the movie, love the cat, love Brie Larson. Everybody knows I love J-Lo. She's quickly becoming a favorite.
Yeah, you know what? The more I watch this movie, the more I enjoy Brie Larson. Yeah. I thought she was a little bit hardcore and not like likable in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then the subsequent times I've seen it, I start to really buy into what works with that attitude she has is the relationship she has with Sam Jackson.
Yeah.
And I think you need to have some attitude to be able to stand up to have chemistry.
Yes, definitely with Sam Jackson.
Kelly talked to Brie. Take a look.
It was like the part was tailor-made for you, really.
Oh, thank you.
So when it came your way, what what was your initial reaction? Yes, please.
No, it wasn't.
No.
I was like, give me a sec to think about this. If I could do movies like this and there was no, like, I knew that I would still get to keep my privacy and I could walk around the streets and everything would be okay, then I would have just been like, yeah, totally, I'm in. But because there's these other requirements that go along with it, and those are not environments where I thrive, I wanted to make sure that I could still maintain a life that was important and valuable to me.
I like Brie Larson. You know, she needs something to loosen her up though in those interviews. I wish they would have paired her with the cat. I think that would have made, that's the only thing that would have made that interview a little bit better. Some goose.
The cat or tequila would have been nice. That'd have been nice.
The cat and tequila.
Yeah,
now
that'd
that
have
would
been
have
a great interview.
For them, not for me, but for them. All right, so sit down with Sam Jackson. I want to play a game show.
Yeah.
So Kelly Savannah Deaton asked Sam Jackson, your character's good at keeping secrets in this movie. Tell us something that we don't know about you. How do you think that went down?
I think it did not go down at all. I think he was closed off and maybe called her something like,
survey says, take a look.
Okay, so what's one fact? That's fun.
Tell you anything about me that nobody else knows?
Come on.
No, those are all personal things. I'm an only child. I have a lot of secrets.
I think Sam Jackson shut her down in an appropriately a delightful Sam Jackson kind of way.
I can relate. Being an only child, I have a lot of secrets I'll never tell.
That's right.
Yeah, so I get it. I get it.
All right. So, hey, you crushed it at the Improv Hollywood Monday night.
Yes.
Where can we find out where you're going to be next?
I am Steph Sanders. Go to my Facebook or Twitter. You have my schedule there. I'm all over the place. Coming up, Sacramento Punchline next weekend, Stockton the next weekend, then LA, Chicago, and Atlanta after that. And I'm going to play for 3 months this summer. So
I need a drink. Just exhausted just hearing your schedule.
I'm trying to get it in me one day.
All right, you're going to get a multitude of those and just about everything else. Go get a nap. Everybody make sure to follow us on Facebook and also Extra Butter on YouTube. Subscribe and like. And I'm sorry for dumping popcorn at your lap at the beginning of the movie. Oh, we're going to do it like that, are we? Fantastic. Have a great weekend. See you.